Love doesn't always arrive with fireworks and slow-motion eye contact. Sometimes it shows up late, wearing mismatched socks, spilling coffee on your favorite shirt, and laughing a second too loud at jokes that aren't that funny. Love, especially between two women, has a funny way of pretending it's just friendship at first. It hides in shared playlists, late-night chats that start with, "Are you still awake?" and the kind of smiles that linger longer than they should. It's the accidental hand touches that feel electric, and the way one person suddenly becomes your comfort place without you realizing when it happened. This is a story about that kind of love, the kind that starts with denial, grows through chaos, and blossoms in the most unexpected moments, usually right after something embarrassing happens. It's about two women who didn't plan to fall in love, who tripped over their own feelings, laughed through misunderstandings, and discovered that love doesn't have to be perfect to be real. Because sometimes love isn't dramatic, sometimes it's clumsy, sometimes it's hilarious, and sometimes it's the best mistake you never meant to make, was late and not paying attention. I walked straight into someone and felt liquid splash everywhere. "Oh no, sorry," I said, already embarrassed. She laughed instead of getting mad. "It's okay. It happens." I looked at her shoes, then at her face. She was calm, smiling like the accident didn't bother her. "I'm really clumsy in the morning," I added. "Good to know," she said. "I'll avoid you before 9 a.m. That made me laugh. We stood in line again. The silence wasn't awkward. After a moment, she asked, "By the way, what should I call you?" "Hannah," I answered. She nodded slowly. "Hannah, I'm Alison." Hearing her say my name felt strange in a good way. "Well, Alison," I said, "I owe you coffee." She smiled. "I'll accept that." We got our drinks. Before leaving, she looked back at me. "Maybe we'll see each other again, Hannah." "I hope so, Alison," I replied. She walked out, leaving me there with warm coffee and a name I didn't expect to matter. I tried to forget about her. I really did. But the problem with names like Alison is that they don't stay quiet in your head. They echo when you least expect them, like when you're pretending to work but actually staring at your screen. A week later, I walked into the same coffee shop. Bad idea. Please tell me you're not planning to attack me again. I froze. That voice. I turned and laughed. "I promise, Alison. I'm keeping a safe distance this time." She smiled, crossing her arms. "Good, I came prepared." "With armor?" "With patience," she said. "Lots of it." We ordered coffee separately this time and sat by the window. Sunlight filled the space, and somehow the noise around us faded. "So," she said, stirring her drink, "do you always come here, Hannah?" I raised an eyebrow. "You remembered my name." "Of course I did," Alison replied. "You spilled coffee on me. That's memorable." I laughed, rude. She smiled. Honest. Conversation flowed easily. Work stories, bad mornings, favorite books. She teased me for being late to everything. I teased her for pretending she wasn't a coffee addict. At one point, she leaned back and said, "You know, this feels less like coincidence now." I nodded. "Yeah, more like intention." She looked at me, really looked at me, and for a second the air changed. "Well," Alison said softly, "I'm glad I ran into you, literally." "So am I replied, "even if it started painfully." She laughed. painfully romantic. When we stood to leave, she hesitated. "Hey, Hannah," she said, a little shy now. "Would you like to have dinner with me sometime?" I didn't pretend to think. "Yes." Her smile was instant. "Good." We exchanged numbers this time for real. As we walked out together, I realized something important. The accident wasn't the beginning. The choice to keep meeting each other was. I spent an unreasonable amount of time choosing what to wear. Too casual felt careless. Too dressed up felt desperate. In the end, I went with effortless, which actually meant 3 outfit changes and mild panic. When I arrived at the restaurant, she was already there. She looked up and smiled. "You're on time," I groaned. "Don't get used to it, Alison." She laughed. I knew there was something different about today. Dinner started easy. Jokes, stories, comfortable silence. The kind that didn't need filling. At some point she said, "You know, I wasn't sure you'd say yes." "To dinner?" I asked. She nodded. "You don't seem like someone who rushes into things." I tilted my head. "I literally ran into you." She smiled. "Fair point." The waiter interrupted, asking if we were ready to order. She glanced at me. "Ladies first." I rolled my eyes. "You're doing this on purpose." "Maybe," Alison said, clearly amused. Halfway through dinner, my phone buzzed. I ignored it. Then it buzzed again. I sighed. "Sorry." "Everything okay?" she asked. "Yeah," I said, then paused. "Well, my best friend thinks I'm on a friend dinner." Alison raised an eyebrow. "And is it?" I met her gaze. "No." Her smile softened. "Good." The moment lingered until a loud crash echoed nearby. A waiter dropped a tray. Alison jumped. I laughed. "See?" I said. "Chaos follows me." She shook her head, smiling. "I don't mind. It makes things interesting." When dinner ended, we walked outside together. The night air was cool. She stopped. "I had fun tonight, Hannah." "So did I said. "More than I expected." She hesitated, then leaned in, not a kiss, just close enough to make my heart race. "Next time," she said softly. I smiled. "Next time." We walked away in opposite directions, both glancing back once. I knew it then. This wasn't just flirting. This was the beginning of something real. I replayed that dinner in my head more times than I wanted to admit. The smile. The next time, the way Alison leaned in just enough to mess with my sanity. 2 days later, I saw her again, this time at an art exhibit downtown. "I swear this city isn't that small," I said when I spotted her. She turned and laughed. "Or maybe we're just bad at avoiding each other, Hannah." She was with a group of friends. One of them waved at her excitedly and leaned a little too close. Something in my chest tightened. Alison introduced me. "This is Hannah, the coffee incident." Her friend grinned. "Ah, the legend." I forced a smile. While they talked, I wandered a bit, pretending to look at the art while actually watching Alison laugh with her friend. It shouldn't have bothered me. It did. When we ended up alone by a painting, she glanced at me. "You're quiet." "Just thinking," I said. "About?" I hesitated. "Your friend." She blinked, then smiled slowly. "Oh, you mean Claire?" "She's very dramatic. That's one word for it." Alison laughed. "She's also very taken. And very loud." Relief hit me before I could stop it. "Good," I said too quickly. She tilted her head. Were you jealous, Hannah? I sighed, maybe a little. She stepped closer. I like that. My heart raced. The space between us disappeared fast. She leaned in. I did too. Then, Hannah, I jumped back. Claire waved from across the room. We're leaving, Alison groaned. Terrible timing. I laughed, nerves dissolving. You seem to attract chaos too. She smiled at me, soft and sincere. Only with you. Before leaving, she touched my arm. Next time, no interruptions. I nodded. Next time. As she walked away, I realized something important. We were no longer pretending this was casual. And that almost kiss? It promised more. I told myself not to expect anything. That's a lie. I expected everything. When Alison texted me later that night, "Are you free tomorrow?" my heart answered before my brain did. We met at a small park near the river. No crowds, no friends, no interruptions. Just us and the quiet hum of the city. She handed me a coffee. Peace offering, no spills. I laughed. I appreciate the effort. We walked side by side, talking about nothing and everything. At some point, we stopped near the water. She turned to me. I don't like unfinished moments. I swallowed. Neither do I. There was no rush this time, no chaos. Just a soft pause where both of us knew what was coming. Hannah, she said gently, can I? Yes, I said before she finished. She smiled, relieved, and leaned in. The kiss was soft, careful, like we were both making sure the other was real. Her hand brushed mine, and that was it. I was gone. When we pulled back, she laughed quietly. About time. I smiled, worth the wait. We sat on a bench after, shoulders touching. So, Alison said, pretending to be casual, what does this make us? I looked at her. Interested, very interested. She grinned. Good, because I plan on seeing you again. Same, I said. That night, as I walked home, I realized something. The accident didn't start the story. The almost kisses didn't either. This did. The kiss changed everything. Text messages turned into good morning greetings. Coffee became a routine instead of an accident. And somehow Alison started fitting into my days like she'd always been there. We were walking through a weekend market when she suddenly stopped. Okay, she said, important question. I looked at her. That tone scares me. She smiled. What are we? I blinked. You mean emotionally or socially? She laughed. Both. I took a breath. I like you a lot. She nodded. Good, because I like you too. A lot. We smiled at each other like idiots. A few stalls later, we ran into someone from my office. Hannah, my coworker said. Oh, hi. Alison raised an eyebrow, amused. This is Alison, I said quickly. I froze. Friend? Date? Coffee victim? Alison saved me. I'm the girl she spilled coffee on. My coworker laughed. Nice to finally meet you. When we walked away, Alison nudged me. So, what was I? I groaned. I panicked. She smiled. It's okay. I kind of like being undefined. I stopped walking. I don't. She turned to face me. I want to try, I said. Really try. With you. Her expression softened. I was hoping you'd say that. She took my hand, fingers warm and sure. Then let's stop almost, Alison said. I smiled. Yeah, let's. And just like that, We weren't pretending anymore. Meeting friends felt scarier than the first kiss. Alison warned me ahead of time. They're loud and opinionated. That's fine, I said. I'm moderately brave. We met them at a small bar. Laughter filled the space before we even sat down. Claire was there, of course. She looked at me and smirked. So you're Hannah. That obvious? I asked. She talks about you, Claire said casually. I looked at Alison. You do? She cleared her throat. Sometimes. The night went well. Too well. Drinks, stories, teasing. I relaxed. Then someone asked the question. So, another friend said, leaning forward, are you two together or just vibing? I felt my stomach drop. Before I could answer, Alison said lightly, we're together. Simple, confident. My chest warmed instantly. Later, outside the bar, I teased her. That was bold. She smiled. I meant it. I hesitated. You didn't have to say it like that. She stopped walking. Did it bother you? No, I said quickly. Then softer, it surprised me. She studied my face. Hannah, if this is too fast. It's not, I said. I just don't want to mess this up. She smiled gently. You won't. She kissed my cheek, slow and reassuring. For the first time in a long time, I believed her. Things were good. Maybe that was the problem. We fell into an easy rhythm movies at my place. Late night talks, stolen kisses in quiet corners. It felt safe, comfortable. Too comfortable. One evening, we were lying on my couch, legs tangled, half watching a movie neither of us cared about. Alison spoke first. Can I ask you something? Sure, I said. She hesitated. Why do you always pull back when things get serious? I blinked. Do I? She turned to face me. A little. You joke. You changed the subject. I sat up slowly. I'm not good at heavy conversations. She smiled softly. Neither am I, but I want to try. Silence settled between us. Hannah, she said gently, I like you. I don't want to pretend this is casual. My heart raced. I know. Then say it, Alison said. Say what this is to you. I opened my mouth, closed it. She looked away, disappointment flickering across her face. Hey, I said quickly. It's not you. I just need time. She nodded, but the warmth dimmed slightly. Okay. That night ended early. No kiss goodbye, just a soft, text me when you get home. I did. But as I stared at my phone afterward, I realized something uncomfortable. Avoiding the words didn't protect me. It just created distance. The distance wasn't dramatic. No shouting, no breakup speeches, just fewer messages. Good morning turned into hey. Calls turned into short replies. I hated how quiet my phone felt. 3 days later, I ran into her by accident again outside the bookstore. Hey, I said. Hey, Alison replied. That pause between us felt heavier than any argument. I didn't mean to push you, she said first. I just wanted honesty. I know, I said. I'm just scared of naming things. She crossed her arms. Why? Because once I say it, I admitted, I can lose it. Her expression softened. Hannah, I can't be halfway with you. That hurt, because she was right. I don't want to lose you, I said quietly. Then don't disappear, Alison replied. We stood there, neither of us moving. Finally, she sighed. I need some time. Okay, I said, even though it felt like the wrong answer. She walked away. This time I didn't watch her go. I went home and sat with the silence, realizing something important. Love wasn't scary because it could end. It was scary because it was real. I tried to distract myself. Work, cleaning, rewatching shows I'd already seen. None of it worked. Every quiet moment brought Alison back. The way she laughed, the way she said my name like it mattered. I realized something painfully clear. I wasn't afraid of love. I was afraid of admitting I was already in it. I grabbed my phone and typed a message. "Can we talk?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. "Sure." We met at the park where we'd first kissed. My hands shook as I waited. She arrived, cautious but calm. "I figured it out," I said before she could speak. Her eyebrows lifted slightly. "That was fast." "I'm in love with you," I blurted out. Silence. Then she smiled soft, surprised, relieved. "Hannah," she said gently, "you don't have to say it like you're apologizing." "I know," I said. "I just didn't want to lose you." She stepped closer. "You won't. Not if we're honest." I nodded. "I want this. Fully." She took my hand. Good, because I do too. We kissed longer this time, sure and warm. Love wasn't something I needed to fear. It was something I needed to choose. The word girlfriend felt strange in my mouth. Not bad, just new. We were in the grocery store when Alison casually said, "Can you grab that?" My girlfriend has terrible reach. I froze mid-aisle. I slowly turned to her. "You're what?" She grinned. "Too soon?" I laughed. "No, just unexpected." "Good," she said, tossing something into the cart. "Because I'm not taking it back." We walked home with bags cutting into our fingers, bumping shoulders on purpose. Later, while cooking, if you could call it that, I burned the garlic. Alison wrinkled her nose. "You're supposed to watch it." "I was watching you," I said. She rolled her eyes but smiled. "Flirting won't save dinner." We ate anyway, slightly burnt, still good. That night, lying beside her, I said quietly, "I like this. Us." She turned to me. "Me too." No big speeches. No dramatic promises. Just 2 women choosing each other in small, steady ways. And somehow that felt like the most romantic thing of all. Being together was easy. Real life wasn't. One evening, Alison came over quieter than usual. She dropped her bag and sat beside me without a word. "Long day?" I asked. She nodded. "Client pulled out. Big one." I frowned. "That's rough." She sighed. "Makes you question everything." I wanted to fix it, say the right thing. Instead, I just reached for her hand. "Hey," I said softly. "You don't have to be strong all the time." She looked at me, eyes tired but warm. "That's what scares me, letting someone see this." I squeezed her hand. "I'm not going anywhere." She leaned her head on my shoulder. "Promise?" I didn't hesitate. "Promise." Later that night, she smiled faintly. "You're good at this." "At what?" "Staying." I realized then, love wasn't just laughter and kisses. It was choosing to stay when things got heavy. We were folding laundry when Alison suddenly said, "My mom doesn't know." I paused, holding one of her shirts. "About us?" She nodded. "About me. About this." I sat beside her. "Do you want her to?" "I don't know." she admitted. She loves me, but she loves her expectations more. I thought about my own family, about silence, about avoiding topics to keep peace. I'm not asking you to rush, I said carefully. I just don't want to feel hidden. She met my eyes. You're not. Then someday, I said softly, I want to be introduced. She smiled sadly. I want that too. We finished folding in quiet understanding. Love wasn't just about being together. It was about imagining a future and hoping it had room for both of us. The tension didn't explode. It lingered. Days passed with careful conversations and quiet understanding. We were still together, but standing at the edge of something important. One night, Alison asked me to walk with her. We ended up at the same park again. Somehow we always did. I talked to my mom today, she said. My heart skipped. And? She exhaled slowly. I didn't say everything, but I didn't lie either. I nodded. That matters. She looked at me. I'm scared, Hannah. But I don't want to live my life hiding the things that make me happy. I stepped closer. Then don't. She smiled, eyes shining. I want you in my future, clearly, proudly. Emotion caught in my throat. I'm already there. She laughed softly, then pulled me into a hug that felt like a promise. For the first time, love didn't feel like a question. It felt like a decision. It wasn't a dramatic ending. No big crowd, no loud confessions. Just a quiet afternoon. We were back in the coffee shop where it all started. She raised her cup. To accidents. I clinked mine against hers. To spilled coffee, and to not running away, Alison added. I smiled, especially that. She reached across the table and took my hand like it was the most natural thing in the world. Hannah, she said softly, I love you. This time I didn't hesitate. I love you too. Outside, life continued busy, loud, imperfect. Inside that moment, everything felt right. Love didn't come in perfectly. It came clumsy, funny, unexpected, and it stayed. This wasn't a love story that began with certainty. It started with hesitation, laughter, and a simple accident that turned into something meaningful. Hanna and Alison didn't fall in love perfectly. They learned, stumbled, got scared, and chose each other anyway. Because real love isn't about never being afraid. It's about staying, even when things get complicated, even when the future feels unclear. Sometimes the best endings don't close a chapter. They open a new one. And somewhere in a small coffee shop, with 2 cups raised in quiet understanding, love continues, soft, brave, and real.